we have put our border. Okay, so as we have put this border now, we will now be taking our horizontal, inserting our vertical measurement, which is shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist, shoulder. Okay, but we can leave this shoulder first. Let's do shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist. Okay, let's go. Now shoulder to bust is 11. Why are you giving me this tape? Shoulder to bust is 11. Okay, shoulder to mark it also here so that it will guide the ruler. Now shoulder to under bust is 13 and half. Okay, 13 and half. 13 and half. Then we'll now measure shoulder to waist. The shoulder to waist is 16. Okay, shoulder to waist here again is 16. Now we start connecting our lines. We'll start to connect our lines. Remember what I said, do not be scared to start. Do not be scared to start. Why I like sewing businesses, no matter the aspect of sewing where you are, there's money to be made, my dear. Don't let anybody to deceive you. Even if it's ordinary amendment, there's money to be made. Even if I know somebody that revamps OK materials. She goes to OK stands, as in Okrika. When she gets there, she will buy those condemned ones. Condemned not because the material is not fine, but condemned because maybe the size is too big. She will buy it, take it home, and rework on it, and bring out beautiful styles from it. Now we are done with connecting our lines, right? Now we go back to the shoulder measurements. Okay, if you look at our shoulder properly, if you look at an average human shoulder, you will see that it's not straight. It is slanting. It is slanting, right? Okay, our shoulder measurement for this person is 15 inches. I prefer you using the inches side, please. The whites know how they use this area. I have never been comfortable with this cm. I always like to use inches. I don't even look at this centimeter part of the tape. So this is where I always use. But if you are comfortable with using it, fine. But I think the numbers are just plenty. That's why I don't like it. So we'll go right into our tutorial. Now, shoulder is 15 inches. That 15 inches, remember that 15 inches was, our client was standing and we measured from here, to here. That was 15 inches, right? Now, our cloth is on fold this way. That means that shoulder that was from here to here, 15 inches, is now divided into 2, which is 7.5. Our shoulder is 7.5. We'll measure it. Now, there's a standard. Okay. Now, when it comes to, if you observed in our measurement, I did not include armhole. You know why? Because there's a standard measurement for it. I don't want to disturb myself. And if you follow the standard measurement and you follow it perfectly well, you will never make mistake. You will never make mistake. Okay? Now, the standard measurement is that your armhole measurement is whatever you mark on your shoulder line. That is what your armhole is, plus 1.25, or worst 1.5. I'm going to go with 1.5. Whatever my measurement, my shoulder is, plus 1.5. Now remember, when you are measuring, please measure, instead of the clothes to be too tight, it's better for it to be too big. Okay? If it's too tight, the clothes might be condemned. Except you have any other creative means. Though, if I make a cloth for you and it's too tight, I will turn it, make it something creative. And before you know, you will even like the style that will come out of it, okay? But for you that is just a beginner, instead of it to be too tight, let it be too big. That is how we have our ready-to-wear clothes, okay? It's either they make it with elastic material, crepe, stretchy crepe, okay? Or they make it to be wide, so it can enter anybody. Okay, now, from going back to what we are saying, whatever you measure on the shoulder line, that you will use as the armhole, plus 1.5. Now, we got 7.5 here, and then we are adding 1.5 to it. That is 9 inches, right? So now we are going to be marking 9 inches somewhere around here, so that we will bring back exactly this 7.5 here, okay? And then we mark 9 inches again here. We mark 9 inches again here. It's time to connect with our ruler. Now we connect it like so, and then we come down and connect it like so. Very simple. Oh, really? We'll connect it like so. If you look at it properly, our cloth is taking shape, right? Now, we'll go over to the neckline. Now, there is a standard measurement for neckline for an adult. And I will advise you use that standard measurement for the neckline for an adult. You use it to slant this shoulder. Now, when you are slanting our shoulder, remember I told you our shoulder is not straight, it's slanting. You slant it here by 1 inch. Okay? You bring it down by 1 inch. You mark it here. Now, the standard measurement for neckline is 3 inches by 3 inches. Okay? We still measure it here by 3 inches. Now, we are going to connect it. Remember, we are working on our front bodies. If you follow my tutorial the way it's supposed to be, you will not have problems. Sewing is fun. Sewing is fun. Don't let anybody deceive you. I love sewing. I love picking up pieces and joining it together. You hardly see me throwing away pieces. There is always something to do with your pieces. Never you throw it away. Look for a big Ghana must go. Put them there. There's always something to do with your pieces. Now we get back to board. Now, 3 inches by 3 inches is the standard measurement for a female adult. I always prefer my people or us to use it as a standard for slanting our shoulder. Now, most people start slanting shoulder this way. They start this way and they start from this edge. That is wrong. That is wrong because it's going to cut through the neckline. So the proper way of slanting our shoulder is this way. Because even if your shoulder is an off shoulder or a canoe neck, you can't start slanting from here. It will look funny, okay? But if you start it from here, it's okay. So this is the standard measurement for our neckline. Now, you can use a free hand to put a curve here, but since I have a ruler, we don't want to use a free hand. But let me just show you how to use a free line. Now, when you want to use a free line, you don't have this ruler, and you want to use a free line, just measure 1 inch here, put the dot, then use it as a yardstick to curve it out, okay? Now, but since I have my ruler, I'll be using the ruler to place the curve because it comes out smoother. Yes, it comes out smoother. Now, painstakingly always pay attention to detail. Most times, I might want to curve this thing and it's shaking. And I'll say, oh, leave it like that. I'll correct it later. It will bring you back to where you started from later. Whatever mistake you make now, please try to correct it. That is why your pattern paper is important. Try to correct it before you take it to your material. Because whatever mistake you make and you do not correct it before taking it to your material, you will later come back to repair that mistake. Okay? So it takes time. That's why online I used to see some people, they will say, oh, I sew 3 skirt and blouse, I sew 3 in a day. Well, if you can do that perfectly well, that's fine. But I prefer looking at it, you study the style before you put it on your material. Now, because we slanted this area, it's now remaining 7.5 inches. Okay? Because we slanted this area, it's now remaining 7.5. Now, to work on our armhole, we want to work on our armhole now. Now, to work on our armhole, we are going to be looking for the middle point from here to here, and that middle point is 3.75. We are trying to work on our armhole. We are trying to make our armhole beautiful, okay? It's very simple. You get the middle point from that slanted line to the ending now. Now you come in, because it's the front pattern we are working on, you come in by 1/2 inch here. You come in by 1/2 inch. You come in by 1/2 inch. That's my 1/2 inch. Now, if you don't have this ruler, but I will advise everybody, your work comes out neater when you have this ruler. I will advise everybody, please comment on the comment section if you need this ruler. I have like 50 pieces of it, and it's ready to be given out at just a token, okay? So now, if you have this ruler,